Qwilr is a proposal solution in the sales enablement and seller space. At Qwilr, we were due to rethink a little bit what we're doing from an outbound perspective. That was the first use case we saw with SendSpark. Our kind of theory was that Qwilr is incredibly visual. We're creating these visual proposals for buyers. And so if we're approaching outbound as plain text emails, the same as everyone else, we're not really going to stand out in the market or be playing to our strengths. And so we started with the end in mind. We were like, what would a really good outbound email look for us? And we were thinking, well, ideally video, right? It's always a lot of effort to do, but if we can do video in our outbound, that's probably going to stand out a lot more for prospects. One of the biggest kind of aha moments across our sales or new customer journey is when people see a Qwilr page or a proposal in their own branding for the first time. And so we try to bring that experience forward into the outbound journey, where we do a lot of outbound at an industry level, where we show example pages of what your proposal could look like in Qwilr at an industry level. So we're tailoring that side as well as the message. We find that helps a lot in terms of getting cut through with outbound, which is just so competitive and noisy at the moment. Because we're a relatively horizontal solution, we've had to go very much industry by industry. We use it as a bit of a proof of concept. So we show an example of a really strong sales proposal in Qwilr and show the interactive elements and how you get the analytics. And then we offer, hey, we can actually create one of these in your branding. Would that be something you're interested in? We're just thinking about it in terms of what is like the next little offer that we can do to bridge someone towards being interested or like understanding our solution. Originally we were doing it in the first email that was going out to people. Now we're starting to play around with where does SendSpark sit within the flow. I think with outbound, we just try to be mindful of how many links are in our emails or GIFs and this sort of thing. But the really interesting thing was the response rates were sky high when we started doing this. We've got so many funny and interesting stories off the back of this. We had one SDR leader that we reached out to, sent back the following day, which was a Saturday. How are you doing this at scale? What are you using? I want our SDR team to do a similar tactic. What's the KPIs for your team? How many videos are they expected to send out each day? Which was great feedback. It's so novel and interesting to people at the moment and feels so different to a lot of the outbound that folks receive, that they are really interested in the actual method that's going on with the outbound, which is helping us have more conversations too, which is, I think, like quite unusual, that the process is also creating demand for the solution. The second piece is we're also trying to use Qwilr in conjunction with SendSpark. We started to combine the SendSpark videos with Qwilr pages to create like a really personalized experience as well for buyers. The flow at the moment is that someone signs up for a Qwilr trial. They're on a 14-day trial to test out us for proposals. And then what we find is there is a bunch of those leads are really high quality and are worth having a SDR or a kind of escalation path. And so what we do is we send out custom videos to each person that signs up that falls into our kind of true ICP, right? And use that as an opportunity to book a meeting with those leads and help evaluate if Qwilr is the right solution with them. Originally, we were doing a video in this space, but it was one of those things where it was like a slightly older video. We hadn't changed it in a while. It was on like a bit of an older landing page and things like that. And that's where we put a Qwilr page together with more information, as well as this video and some comparison information about how we compare to some other solutions. And we're now sending that out, and we're seeing 2 to 3 times higher response rates from this inbound video versus a previous inbound video. So not, video versus no video is 2 different styles of video. And I think some of that comes down to the personalization and the fact that SendSpark drops that little GIF in there with the background of their website. I think we just see higher click-through rates because of that personalization aspect. The other one that's interesting is I just know we're booking more meetings with AEs without manual SDR contact or intervention, which I think is very exciting from a scale perspective. Everyone's trying to be really efficient at the moment. And so for us to be able to do that without the manual work is really important. One that we're very keen to try shortly is more from a product triggers perspective. People coming to an end of their trial, is there something that we can follow up with there? Other ones would be cases where it's warm visitors to the website. And then people who signed up for Qwilr some time ago are not on a paid plan and then return to the website or return to the app. I think there's definitely something there. So I think there's a few triggers there. And if that can create more, a larger kind of lead pool for the SDR group, that would be great.